Okay, welcome back, Jebele. Now, in this tutorial, we are going to start to make our game a little bit more challenging. Last lesson we started because we added some power-ups, if you remember, when we drive over the red area, our car skids and goes a little bit faster. This tutorial, we are going to look at adding new sprites that are kind of sprites that we try to avoid. If we hit them, our game is ended. So we're going to have things or people crossing the track. Okay, so what we'll need to do is add a new sprite. Okay, so we're not going to design one. Well, you can design one if you want, but I'm going to show you how to add a new sprite. So what we need to do first, we're going to click as we did before on the sprite button here. This time we're going to the magnifying glass and we're going to choose a sprite. So I'll click on that. And it will display a list or a database of sprites that have already been created. Now I'm going to have a lion. I think we ought to have a lion on my racing code. So I'm going to go to animals and I'm going to search for a lion. If you go in the search bar here, you can type in lion and there's my lion. So I've added my lion to my racetrack. He's quite big at the moment. We need to make him smaller. Now, if you remember from before, we changed the size by using the size tool down here. If I just zoom in, there's the size tool. You remember it's set to 100 initially, and you can add a number in there and make it smaller. I'm going to go all the way down to 20 and see what size that is. That is not bad. It's quite, yeah, I think that'll do. Maybe I'll go 25, just a little bit bigger. So there's my lion. My lion, what's going to happen? I'm going to have maybe several lions or a couple of lions, and they're going to be crossing the road like that. And if my car hits the lion, then I will crash and my game will be ended. So make sure you are clicking on your newly added sprite. So I'm clicking on my sprite. So I'm on my lion down here. You know you're on the sprite lion or which animal you're at because it's in blue here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get it to go from here to here and back again, over and over again. So if we're doing something over and over again, we need a loop like before. But before that, we need an event to make it sure it starts at the beginning of the game. So I'm going to drag my when green flag is clicked. I'll just make that area a bit bigger. And there is my when green flag. So again, it wants to go over and over again. So we're going to use control block and we're going to use the forever loop. Okay, so there's my forever loop. So I want my lion to start in this position here. Now that is a location on my stage and we need to look in motion and you'll find the go to block. So that, again, remember the coordinates. So its current location is there, 128 x and 14 y. So I want it to start at that point. So I'm going to put my go to, can you see where I'm putting it? Just after my green flag. So it will always go to, no matter where I place it, it will go to that location, which is perfect. So I want it to start there. Now, inside the forever loop, I'm going to get it to move from there to there. So we're going to use a new block here, and it's the glide block. Okay, so here's the glide block. So I drag the glide block, and you'll see it's got the same coordinates as here, and they need to match because it needs to start in that location. And it says glide for 1 second. So that's going to glide for 1 second. And then I'm going to put my lion here. Okay. And then I'm going to see my glide again. Can you see it's changed now? It's got different coordinates. It's moved a little bit further on the x coordinate and a little bit on the y coordinate. So if I drag my second glide, these need to obviously be different because that's the first location. Then it's going to glide to the second location and then keep going backwards and forwards over and over again. So let's try that. So I'm going to press my green flag. And there you go. My line is going across the road back and forward. So that's 1 second. So if I change my speed to 2 seconds, you'll see now my lion takes a little bit more time to cross the road. You can choose how long you want your lion to take to cross the road. I might even go even slower. It takes 3 seconds to cross the road. Now, that's got my lion moving. Next, I want my car to crash if it hits the lion. And the way you do that, you need to go to your car, and then again we're looking inside this forever loop. So we've said at the moment, if we're touching the green color, then switch to costume, car crash, and stop all. So basically we want to do the same, but when we touch the lion. Now the lion sprite has got a name and it's called lion. So basically we want to say if touching green there or touching the lion, switch to car crash. And the way we do that, we use a new block called an operator block. Now the operator blocks I'll show you are just here. These are the operators, okay? And we can do mathematical calculations using them and lots of different things. So let's just have a look inside there. So inside the operators, we have an OR and an AND block. So what we're going to use here is the OR block. So we're checking if it's touch green or touch the lion. And so you've got 2 spaces here. And these are actually joined together. You can put even more together. You can put quite a lot together. So you could have various different blocks in here, or, no. But at the moment, we will only have 2, but we can add to them later if we want to. So now, what we're going to do is drag our touching green block and put it in the first section of the OR. And then, in the second part, we are going to put our lion. So we are touching lion. So I need to go to sensing. Now, the very first one you need to choose, touching. At the moment, it says mouse pointer. I'll zoom in so you can see that better. So instead of mouse pointer, if you click on the arrow, you'll see that your lion is being displayed. And then you can drag your touching lion next to your touching green after your OR, and then by clicking it and holding and dragging, you can drag your OR block with your touching green and touching lion inside the if then. So that's basically added another possibility to your if then block. So if it's touching green or touching lion, it will switch to car crash. So let's test that now. So I press my green flag. My car starts after 2 seconds. I'm just going to speed up a bit. I hit and then if I hit the lion, my car crashes and my game stops. And that is how you add obstacles to your game. What you can do now, you can add more obstacles. So you could look for another sprite, then use the same code as you did here, but change the location of your obstacle. But what you've got to do now, do you remember I showed you before how you can add more ORs? So if you drag that apart and then go to operators, you can add another OR and put that inside here. I'll just move that across. And can you see now you can add your new sprite that you've added, and that will check if you've touched green or you've touched lion or you've touched your new sprite here. So it could be another line, you can add another line, or you could add absolutely anything you like from the sprite section. And it will always end the game if you crash into any of those sprites if you're using the OR. And I'm just going to put that one back for now. Okay, and that is how you add obstacles to your Scratch car racing game, and you use the OR operator to test more than one possibility. Okay, I'll look forward to you improving your game and making it more challenging. And take care, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.